the weekly show. My name is Winnie Marie Jose, and yes, you're very welcome. I know it's been a minute. So today I'm going to be featuring a guy who goes by the name Walter. So Walter has lived in the US for a cool 30 years. Where he has a very amazing story. You're gonna love it. So stick around. Of course, I met a little backstory. I met Walter when I was in search for a bike. So I came across his ex-US goods shop, and he has amazing stuff. Great customer service. You're gonna love it, and you're gonna love him too. So yes, without much ado, you're gonna be seeing all of this later. Let's have the main dish. Hi, Walter.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Good. Fine.
Nice to meet you
Thank
too.
you.
And thank you for being here, by the way. I know it's off your busy schedule, but hey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I'm curious to know, have you forgotten your local dialect or Kiswahili?
I can say no, not yet. I still have a lot of it left.
Like hautaachwa nyuma tukibonga hapa tukiongea.
Niko fit, niko poa.
Uko sawa kabisa.
Swahili niko poa pia. Kikuyu niko poa pia.
Wow.
Yes.
Ohoro waku.
Ni mwega mono.
Nokirire wega.
Pio.
You're not badly off. Only has a twang.
Yes, I
which
do.
is actually good. It's 30 years is a long time.
Yes.
That's how you acquired the accent.
I acquired accent through those 30 years I've been in the US. Been pretty much in the US, most of the states.
Wow.
But I'm based in North Carolina,
Wow.
a town called Charlotte. This is where I departed from Kirigiti to US.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So pretty much you lived in Kirigiti before you traveled to the US.
Yes, pretty much. Yes,
Had
I
a
did.
job then, perhaps a career?
I never had a
started?
career. As soon as I completed my A levels, that was in 1989, and 2 years I worked with my dad. That is
Okay.
1990 and 1991, and then 92 I was blessed with not a green card, but a visa for 4 years.
Ah, okay.
And that's how I migrated to the United States in August the 14th, 1992.
What did your dad used to do?
My dad was a businessman,
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Based in Kirigiti?
based in Kirigiti, but
Wow.
had a business in Nairobi.
So it's safe to say you've taken after your dad business-wise.
Pretty much, family-oriented business.
A levels means like what we have high school now.
That was Form 6. You had to go like
yes.
Standard 7.
College.
Then you go for 4 years in high school, then 2 years to A level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How you said you got a visa to go to the US for 4 years.
Yes.
How did that come about? Through a friend? Or?
No, visa for education.
Oh, wow.
4-year visa because I went to a black community college that was named by Baba Scotia College.
Ah,
And that's where I did my bachelor's
through application.
through application.
That was a long time ago. How are you so woke, then?
Yes, it was a long time
Yeah.
ago, and being my first time going there, I was kind of nervous, didn't know anybody, but I had to do it because I believe in God, and I knew things were going to get better then.
So moving to the US in college,
Yes.
you didn't have anyone to host you. So you just go to college and, hostels. Is there anything like that, by the way?
Nobody hosted me, just went straight from Kirigiti all the way to North Carolina,
Wow.
a little town called Concord, and nobody hosted me, just went straight to the hostels.
Wow.
So I was in the hostels.
How was adapting like? I can only imagine.
It was very tough, simply because when we go on recess, when school goes on recess, so I did not have anybody to host me.
Of course.
So I was kind of had to find a way to get myself busy. So I had to do what they call a work-study program,
Okay.
where you had to work, and that money you don't actually get paid in cash. So
goes to-
those hours they go towards your tuition.
Ah, which is
ma'am.
nice, really.
Very good.
Odd jobs, was it like taking care of old people like we hear,
I never got to that, but my
Yeah.
first job when I got there, it took me about 3 years to get a job because I
Wow.
was still in college, you know.
Yeah.
But my first work was to work in a restaurant, just like what they have here, KFC now. And that was my first
Like a
work.
waiter.
Housekeeping waiter.
Wow.
Yes, so I was doing both.
How much were you earning then?
Minimum wage then, by that time in 1995, was $4.25.
Wow.
Which is
Which actually went to your tuition.
which most of it went to my tuition.
So how was the expectation for people back home? Because when you move to the US,
Yes.
they expect you to be sending monies. They think you're doing well. Did they expect you to send something back home?
They did because they say people go to America, that's
get
the land,
money.
get money, land of
Yeah.
opportunity. But you don't know, sometimes it's very challenging. Unless you go there and face it yourself, it was not easy. And basically because another thing that I encountered when I was there was the weather. My first time to see snow, I almost took off. Sorry.
You know, also you did
Yeah.
say also hilarious.
Yeah.
And wow, really?
Yes, because it's something that I never seen in my life. So I
Wow.
was like, what's all this thing coming down from the, from up there?
Wasn't there like internet or this googling thing?
We didn't have no internet. There was no Googling thing, and there was no cell phones during that time.
So, which means you rarely communicated to your parents.
Rarely
and
communicate with my
siblings back
parents.
home.
I had to go to the office to make a
Wow.
phone call.
Such a
Sometimes
hassle.
they have these international counselor, like a head of counseling for foreign students. So sometimes he let me use his phone to call my parents. Yes.
Wow. And how was education over here, studying in the US?
Very good, straightforward. They'll work with you, though sometimes my English was not perfect during that.
Of course.
So they kind of understood, and they worked with me to the level where I could understand and catch up with education.
Is it what they say? People say that education or the system in the US is totally different from here, in that in Kenya it's more complex. So when you go to the US, people find you very bright. Is that a stereotype or is true?
It's true.
Yeah?
It's sort of a spoon-fed education in the US.
Okay. No
Kenya
wonder.
education is very involving, it's very tough, and it's the best education in Kenya.
Wow.
Yes.
A good 4 years.
A good 4 years.
What happened when you finished?
When I finished, just had to find myself some side jobs to do before I ventured myself into health career.
Okay.
Healthcare, yes.
It was a 4-year visa.
A 4-year visa.
Which means, did you have to come back
I
home?
had to come back home.
Of course.
But eventually I found myself just
You got away.
going over, and I got away with the 4-year visa. So, as they say, you gotta do what you gotta do to make things work.
What did you gotta do? What did you do?
Well, eventually I found myself, just being Americanized. And I had to fight my way out to get a green card.
Do you want to talk about that?
Maybe not today.
Okay.
It's a very, very involving process.
So you mentioned something to do with health. That's the other career you ventured into in the US.
Yes, it's a career of itself that I ventured into.
Like a nurse?
No,
nursing
it
aid,
was
doctor?
something they call a surgical technician.
Okay, now you have to tell us what that
A
is.
surgical technician is a course where I had to take whereby when the doctor is doing operation in the operating room, the main work of a surgical technician is to hand the instruments when the doctor is doing operation. It could be a total knee surgery, it could be a hip surgery, it could be something to do with the abdomen. So the doctor is operating a patient on the table, so the doctor might call for, let's say, Mr. Walter, give me a knife handle. Those knife handles, they do have names, medical terminology names.
Okay.
So you have to know them, because you cannot just hand him any knife, because he could be cutting a patient on one side to the other side. So you got to make sure you give the doctor the main correct knife.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. How long did you do that?
I did that for about 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very involving and stressful, but it
I
was a
believe.
job. Yeah.
During that period, did you manage to come back home?
My first time when I came back to Kenya was in 2003. That is when I'd spent almost over 10 years in the US.
Yes. Wow.
Things had changed when I came to Kenya.
Of
Not like
course.
when I left them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, before we change scene, and I love how you've kept this place. It looks really nice. Maybe you can tell us a bit of all this beautiful stuff in here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is something that I thought I could try it out here in Kenya. And one time I woke up and I said, I've always heard of ex-UK, ex-China,
Yeah.
ex-Europe here and there, but I never heard of ex-US. And I said,
Yes.
I'm going to have to make a
True.
difference, because I'm a guy who likes to make differences and, give people the best. So I sat down and as here I come, I said, no, let me just go ahead and start collecting different merchandise that I can bring to Kenya and give it to people. The best of the things that you can ever get is from ex-US. Best of the best.
Yes, I see you have really nice stuff.
Thank you.
When did you set this up?
The container here or the...
Here, the container here. And
This one has
everything.
been here for like three months now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How is business around here?
So far, so good. I cannot complain. Kenyans are very, 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 they want to learn. They've asked me so many questions. What is this? What is that? And been also learning a lot from the Kenyans who have been coming here. Customers, tremendous people and young kids.
Yeah.
Mama Mboga, Boda guy. So things have been very good so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the weekly show. We're going to be back in a moment. Welcome back to the weekly show. We are still with Walter over here, and Walter, you have a nice, smooth compound, well kept, beautiful house. Wow, it's really amazing to see what you've done with this place. Is this where you were born? This because we are still in Kirigiti. Is this where you were born? Like here?
I was born in Pumwani, Nairobi, but this is where my parents they were living.
Oh, okay.
All this time.
Oh, all right. This is where your parents used to live?
Yes, ma'am.
So your siblings might be living around?
My brother does. Two of my brothers do live in the back there. It's pretty much sitting on 1.5 acres of land.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
So this is like a clan?
It's a clan property.
Ah, okay.
Pretty much, yes.
Wow, that's really nice. So back to the story. I think there's somewhere I didn't get to understand very well. After you finished your 4-year visa, yes, study, did you come back home? Because I understand after you finish 4 years, after your visa is, over, you die, you go back home unless you find other things to do over there.
Well, I didn't come home quite a way. I had to kind of, because it was 4 years, I felt 4 years were too short for me to be in the US, and I felt like I could have done more other stuff that I wanted to do, and I found myself just getting caught up with being busy in the US.
Some jobs you had
Some
to do?
side jobs here and there, and yes.
What's the oddest job you had to do to survive,
It's a good question. Cut grass.
Wow.
Yes.
For homestead or for different people?
Just a homestead.
Okay.
Yes, out of my first job.
How much did you used to earn from that?
Basically, the person who cut grass, she paid me to what she asked me, what do you think is fair for me to pay you? But there was a cut-off minimum that she could pay me, which was $2.50.
In the US, that is. Have you ever been into drugs?
No, I haven't.
Stress, depression, like many Kenyans are doing over there, I understand.
I haven't, and I thank God for that.
Wow.
Because it's a country that, America is a country that you can find yourself sinking into so many things like drugs.
Yeah.
There's prostitution, there's people committing suicide.
Yes.
But I thank God because I lived a straight line, because my parents raised me so good and taught me how to work hard, and you're going to always achieve if you work hard.
Always been focused. I love that.
Absolutely.
Do you have friends from Kenya over there?
Plenty.
Plenty.
A lot of them.
Do you know someone who actually messed their life or away?
There are people who kind of had a very hard way to cope up with the system. Some of them have come back. Some of them have gone to different countries.
Yeah.
So it is what you want to make out of it.
That's true.
Yes.
The most disturbing story with you Africans and whites, racism.
Yes.
Did you ever encounter racism, like you as an individual?
I can say yes.
Yeah.
I've encountered it. I have faced it.
A couple of times.
Couple times, yes.
Can you give us a scenario, like paint a picture, video?
There is this. See, racism is there. Mm-hmm. It's even there in Kenya among ourselves.
Yes.
Tribal this, don't get along. That's racism.
Yes.
In the US is basically very different. Different in the sense of the white tends to keep to themselves, and they can even show it to your face,
of
or
course.
they can, things that they do, they can tell you exactly what they're trying to point across to you. Hey, you're not supposed to be around this area. Mm-hmm. This area is just for us.
Because you're black.
Because you're black.
How unfortunate.
Yeah, and you can also see, even on the national television, news, for example, George Floyd.
Yes, yes,
wild,
yes, yes.
wild thing.
Totally
What
unfortunate.
they did to that man was totally
Yeah.
very wrong.
But when you come across that instance, do you wish that you actually would come back home and experience,
And sometimes, yes, it has made me to fear for that, because honestly, as a black person, black woman, black man, black child, there are certain areas that you just cannot be there,
Wow.
And at one time, I even thought about maybe I need to go back to Kenya, feared for my life. But like I said, it also depends with the situation. Yes.
Wow. So after being a surgical technician for some time, you quit or did you do anything else?
I did leave that. I quit, not quit, but to resign.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe in just quitting jobs like that.
Okay.
Especially when you're in a foreign country.
Definitely.
You gotta do the best you can to make yourself work hard.
You resigned to do something?
I resigned
something
that
else?
to venture myself into another business, which was logistics.
Oh.
And what do I mean by logistics? Trucking. The big trucks, the 18-wheeler trucks. We call them 18-wheelers. In Kenya, I don't know what they call them. But those big trucks, you might see like in Mombasa Road, ferrying all those goods from Mombasa to Tanzania, Kigali, Uganda.
Yes.
Yes, so that's what I ventured myself into doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which paid more
Which
than surgical
paid
technician?
more and more fun and free time for yourself. I was a dispatcher,
Okay.
dispatching these truckers.
Not necessarily a driver.
Not necessarily a driver.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was dispatching those drivers for a company. A friend of mine had a company, and that's what I was doing.
So for that period, you feel like your life now was more stable?
Life was
doing
more stable. I was
better.
doing better.
Yeah.
And that's not even too long ago. That's maybe it's about 10 years ago. Yeah.
The period, do you have like fun? What's your kind of fun over there?
So many fans in America.
Yeah.
When you say fans.
Are there clubs for like Africans, Kenyans, like that
There
kind of thing?
are also African clubs, yes. There's African clubs.
Restaurants,
there's,
cafes?
Cafes, restaurants, yes, they do. And America is a home of restaurants.
Yes.
Yeah, home of all kind of sports you can think of. NBA, National Football League, what they call NFL.
Yes.
So basically, it's a home of everything.
What do you do for fun over there?
That's a good question. Apart from working,
Yeah.
I found myself busy, just hustling. There's also hustling in America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like here.
You know,
hustle.
a current sitting president is the #1 hustler.
He is the number one hustler, and I want to be like him.
Hey,
I hope
hey,
God. I know I can be like him because he started from nowhere.
That's right.
And he's somewhere.
Yeah.
It's about your determination. You have to put the men up there first, and you have to have that. I can do it.
That's right.
Yes. Nothing is impossible.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
That's right. What was the toughest thing about settling over there? Or what, like, are there any culture shocks? Do you come across something and you're like, wow, this is totally unheard of where I come from?
Yes.
Yeah?
That's tough now.
Uh-huh.
Because I went to a country, my English was not that good. My English still is not that good. I try. The #1 culture shock that I had when I went to America in August the 14th, 1992.
Wow.
That time America was summer. I had this big leather jacket. Talking about temperatures of 90 degrees, 95 degrees. Actually, August and September, those 2 months are the hottest months in the US. And everybody was staring at me in college, in campus, asking me, hey man, aren't you hot? I say, hot for what? But I didn't know they're talking about the weather, because that's why you see people with shorts, t-shirts, because people adapt to wear because of the 4 seasons that we have. We have summer, we have fall, we have winter, and we have spring. Yes.
The lady is wearing very short dresses and shorts. Did you find that quite weird?
I sure did.
Yeah.
And that actually, and sometimes I feel like I want to run away because it's something that I've never seen.
Okay.
But it is what it was, because that's a culture.
Did you ever tell them that? That's quite not what happens.
One thing you don't want to do to an American is to tell them how they dress, or how they walk, or how they talk.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You heard it from Walter himself. You don't want to mess with an American. Taking a short break. We'll be right back. back to the weekly show, and of course, I'm here with Walter, and we are talking about culture shocks. Hey, by the way, I know culture shocks is actually very, when people go to different countries, they get these shocks. And you've talked about the dressing and the weather, but how about food? You know, you used to maybe githeri, ugali, now you get something totally different.
Food, very different in America because some of that food, they have the food with their own names, and to me, I did not even know what that food is called. So it was very challenging because, especially when I was in campus,
Yeah.
My first year, my second year in campus, I was struggling very much to know what I'm supposed to eat because I could hear people say, "Hey, Mr. So-and-so, those the servers in the cafeteria." Americans, they call it by different names, so I didn't even know what to call it. So I just had to point it. And sometimes they'll give me a hard time, say, "Sir, you got to call it by name." Here in America, we call food by names.
Yeah.
So that was one of the challenges that I had when I was
Wow.
there. Yes.
And did you, okay, you know, I hear that they barely eat. Like they could have a toast or a sandwich and they're good for the day. Did you have trouble adapting with that? Is it true for starters?
Americans, they do eat. See, the big people.
Oh, yeah.
They
that's
eat.
what
They eat quite a lot,
Yeah.
and they're very healthy too, because there's a lot of equipment, gyms, exercise.
Ulionekana ukiwa mshamba huko?
Very,
Yeah.
because it was there.
Hey.
See, you're living a country that you're used to people doing this, and you're going to a country where you see they do things their own way. So basically, it was a culture shock.
Did you find, did anyone ever point it to you, by the way, you guys, you're weird?
No, they don't.
Ah,
but you
okay,
can
that's
look,
really
you can
good.
tell something
It's
doesn't
actually
click.
off.
Something is off. Yeah.
Okay, so back to 2003, when that was your first time coming here in Kenya. How was it like after a whole, you know, after a long time, 2003 is a long time from 1992.
Yes, it
How was
was.
it like for you here?
It was tough because my first time when I landed here, especially the JKIA, just to see those 10 years, it's a big culture shock.
Totally.
Just coming back to motherland.
Wow.
And people, I'm used to seeing big people, giants. America, they're giants, they're big, they're huge.
Yeah.
You know, and the dress code.
Yeah.
is big,
Like
big one.
you,
Yeah,
like really. Who
Shorts.
shows up? Let me ask you, Walter. Who shows up for a full interview dressed like this? Honestly,
the
only
Amer-
someone who's been in America, for real.
Just the American way.
Wow,
Yeah.
like, that's really nice and
Yeah.
easy.
Thank you.
So coming back here, people are waiting for you, your family members, your old friends. How was it like? Did you?
Yes, it was very challenging because I'd left my my family. Coming back here, I found them, my dad had changed, you know, his health. My mom had changed her health. My brothers, some of them they had lost, you know, weight. Some of them they have done pretty good with themselves. But also Kenyans as a whole, when I saw the people here, I could see, you know, people very skinny, people have lost weight. I could see things that I've never left here, like border people. And I saw so many people tamacking, walking, you know.
Something you're not
there,
used
something that
to.
you don't see people walking in America that much.
Yeah.
You might see one person here, another person here. But, you know, I realized, hey, I'm back in Kenya.
Another stereotype. When someone goes to the US, like we said earlier, they expect you to have money and come back home rich and everything. So in
Yes.
2 or 3, I can imagine everyone was asking for handouts. Am I wrong?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
You're right. You're right.
Did you have all that money to give away?
Had a little bit. Help here, help there.
Go clubbing with your friends, old friends and everything? Party?
Every now and then I go to a club just to get out, just to feel how it is in Kenya after those years in America.
Yeah,
because in
of
America
course.
we work a lot,
Yes,
many hours.
I
and
understand.
just coming here was sort of a vacation for me.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
How long did you stay? In 2 or 3?
I was there for 5 weeks.
Ah,
Then I
okay.
went.
That's
Then
not
I
even a long time.
Not a long time, actually very
Okay.
short, but I had to go back
Yes.
because things are also pending there. My job was
Work.
pending. Bills are also pending, just like here.
But at least you got to blend in with your parents, with your,
Sure.
to bond.
Absolutely, I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went back in 2 or 3 the same year.
I went 2 or 3 the same year.
Continue working.
Continued working with my daily things.
Yeah.
And in 2005, unfortunately, my mom passed away.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yes, that was life.
Did you come back?
I came back from mom's funeral, and It was tough because I'm not
imagine.
coming on a visit, I'm coming on a funeral to my beloved mom. So it was very tough, and I had to accept. It's life. And so I went back, I stayed for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then after that, 2006 again, 9 months apart, my father was arrested.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Such a short time.
Yeah, it was. Before, while we were interacting, me and him, while I was in the US in terms of business, he always told me, my son, I can always encourage you one thing, always go into business, if you can. And that's what I'm doing now.
And truly, that's what you've done.
Yes.
Do you have any other business apart from?
That's
you don't mind?
That's what I have. Looking maybe finally to venture into real estate.
Ah,
Yeah,
nice.
That's where I'm heading to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear it's doing really well, so yeah. That's good
It
for you.
is. I've seen. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It is doing well. Kenya is booming in real estate.
Have you ever been arrested over there?
Not been arrested, but I've been cited.
Cited.
A citation is like
That's a new
a speeding
term.
ticket. That's what we call citation.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, police
So you were
comes, stops
speeding.
you, just gives you a warning. Basically, those things are there. They are
Oh,
normal.
that's just a warning.
Those are normal.
Wasn't nothing like
But
going
into
to
drugs or things like that, I've never been into one of those big mess, because I know as a foreign person to cause those chaos, those big drugs, alcohol and stuff like that, they don't play that stuff in the US.
Okay.
They're very strict. Yeah.
That's really good. Hey, welcome back to the weekly show. And of course, we're not done yet. We're still yet to get to the better part, And it's about Walter having a business here in Kenya. And these are some of the things that he has. Bikes. I bought a nice one. Walter, unaziuzaje by the way hizi mabikes? Ni kali sana. Ongea Kiswahili for once tafadhali.
Asante sana. Baiskeli zinaanzia kuanzia, kuna za watoto from ages 3 all the way to ages 13 to kids bikes,
Yeah.
teenagers, na kuna pia za adults. Bei tofauti kwa watoto zinaanzia kama 5,000 shillings, all the way to adult size hadi 32,000 shillings.
That's okay.
Yes.
What else? Unauza nini ingine?
Nauza pia toys za watoto,
Okay.
za kuchezea, na pia kuna dolls, like a dolly. Yeah. Kuna vitu mingi za
Kuna vitu
kadhalika.
Tutaziona kwa shop.
Yeah.
Na ulisema hii busy iko fit kabisa, iko safi.
Busy, iko fit sana, iko
Iko
poa.
sawa.
Imeniinua. Vile kuko ni kwamba Kenyans wameona vitu kama hizi bikes, na ni bikes zingine hapa mpaka wananiambia they have never seen such a bike.
Oh yeah.
Na nina understand because it is the way the country is. Na ndio nilisema nitaleta vitu different things
Tofauti.
because like a while before I told you, all I see is ex-UK, ex-UK, sorry, and ex-Chinese, ex-Japanese. Lakini I've never seen ex-US. It's there, but maybe I've never seen one. So nikasema, let me bring something to show what US is about. Let me give Kenyans the best, because US is the best in terms of quality.
Yeah, that's right.
Nah, that is why I brought what I brought. Yeah.
Ni tabia gani ambayo umeichukua kutoka huko, like some behavior?
Behavior nimetoka kutoka kwa wazungu sana, and my own black fellow friends, black Americans, ni kwamba customer comes first. Avoid kama kukasirika, kuongelesha mtu kwa njia mbaya. Ni biashara na sote tuko hapa kusaidiana. This bike goes for 20,000, but unaambia Mr. Walter, I only have 3,000 shillings. Utakwambia, okay, you can put that down in a payment plan.
Okay.
So ndio tunaitaga layaway plan in the US.
Nice.
Mpaka siku ile utafikisha.
Kama huku ukiweka deposit.
Kama deposit. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Exactly.
So looking back, let's say if you didn't travel to the US.
Yes.
What would you have done? Let's say kama career, ungefanya nini for instance?
In Kenya mimi nilikuwa nimeamini kwamba biashara mzuri here in Kenya it's always to be with the people kwa farming ama kwa real estate, because my parents, my mom alikuwa na a lot of real estate hapa na pale.
Wow.
So na pia alikuwa anatufunza hapa, one day mimi sitakuwako, so I want you to do this and do this to make it things easier for you, although life is not easy. Alikuwa ananiambia hivyo, which I knew very well it wasn't easy. Yeah.
So would you advise people living here in Kenya ama Africans waende majuu? Unaona ikiwa plan poa?
Well, kwenda majuu it's good. Lakini you have to know what you're going there for. Sio tu kwenda. Kenya ni kuzuri sana in such a way, kuna opportunities hapa Kenya. Mtu asikudanganye. Mimi nimekaa hapa 5 months and I've seen the big opportunities in Kenya. Unataka
kuretire wapi? Kenya ama US?
Nikiretire nataka kuretire Kenya. Ili maybe finally naweza set up something like a foundation for naweza kuwa na uwezo wa kuwasaidia watu ambao wana shida, because watu wana shida hapa Kenya na nia yangu ni kusaidia. Kama naweza kusaidia Wakenya ambao tunao hapa. Najua siwezi kuwatosheleza wote, siwezi kuwasaidia wote. Maybe to set up a children's home. Or what they call assault, domestic violence. Wamama ambao wamekuwa abused na wanaume wao, na pia wanaume ambao wana shida ya pombe. Because vitu kama hivyo huwa nasikia mbaya kuona uwezo vitu ambazo ziko Marekani, pesa ile ambayo iko Marekani, institutions that we have in America that I can bring them here to help people. And there's hope for all Kenyans.
That's right.
Be a child, be an old mom, old dad. Tupigane sote, and we'll make Kenya a beautiful country. It is beautiful already. Let's just make the best. Let's make Kenya as the United States. It can get there. It's already there.
Definitely.
Nairobi Express Highway. Nimekuwa nikipitia. It's just like one of those roads in the US.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
That's right.
And I'm very glad and happy and thankful that I'm back home, a country that I love. Asante.
Yes, this has been the weekly show, and thank you for watching. Definitely, utawambia wa subscribe to my YouTube channel so we can grow, you know.
All of you, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
All the best, and we'll get there sometime.
Thank you so much.
God bless everybody.
Thank you for
bless
being
Kenya.
Here.
God bless America. God bless the world.
How do you say ciao? These are languages. Some are black, some are, you know, something.
We say later, or I'm out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We out of here.
Thank you.